way, that's what they'd all do. I mean, everybody's not gonna like Nicki Minaj, you know what I mean? You know, everybody's not gonna like the way I look and, you know, what I do, but I think if you're smart, you would take from me and you know, figure out why everybody's talking about me, and, you know, I mean, that would be the smart thing to do. And I think they don't know how to express that, so they express it with anger and jealousy and hatred, and then that consumes them, and, you know, and I'm still here.
The more God puts on you, the more talent and power and anointing God places on you, the more is required. To whom much is given, much is required. If you're attacked heavily, if you're attacked more aggressively than the average person or than your neighbor, that means that you have more on you, more in you. Spiritually, you have more in you. You have more talent, more gifting, more oil, more oil, more oil, more oil. And what happens with that is the attacks is a lot heavier because what's in you is a lot stronger, right? So the more aggressive people are with attacking you, that's your cue of how powerful you are. If you're the kind of person where people have to team up to go against you, that means one person is not enough. 2 people are not enough. 3 people are not enough. 4, not enough. 5, not enough. 6, not enough. Now it's hundreds, thousands, masses, corporate giants now, because that's how much power you have within you. And a good example of this is the story of Nicki Minaj, Onika Tanya Miraj. Nicki Minaj is a bright star. I'm surprised I haven't done her in the Bright Star series. Nicki Minaj is a bright star. So she gets attacked at mass levels, mass scales with corporate giants. It's a lot of conspiring to see how they can get this woman out the way. And I digress. I digress because Nicki Minaj has been in the game since 2006. What's the problem? It's 2025. This is not some new woman on the block. She's been here for almost 2 decades. Like, why? Like, what is the problem? What's the deal? And that's the thing with the Bright Star. The deal is people just don't want you around. You know, they don't go after the other rap ladies the way they go after her because it's just, they just don't want you around. When you're a Bright Star, people just don't want you around. They did it to Aaliyah. They did it to Princess Diana. They came at Princess Diana hard. Allegedly, gotta throw that word in there, but they okay. What they did to Princess Diana, that was disgusting. They took it really far with that one. It's just, you just being this beautiful, bright jewel of a person just makes people feel like they just don't want you around. It's really weird, but bright stars will conquer. Bright stars just have to stay focused, and bright stars have to not allow the attacks to, cause them to lose their balance. The reality is you have, in essence, an aura, talent, and gifts that intrigues people, that interests people, that makes people very curious about you. The problem is that curiosity that they have about the gift and the diamond that resides within your soul causes them to transfer that feeling into jealousy, envy, animosity, and hatred. Okay, some people can love you so much and love what you offer and what you represent so much that it turns into hate. That's why I say be careful with people who admire you too much, because that admiration is soon going to turn into a hatred of you, okay? So with Nicki Minaj is a bright star, hands down. I'm surprised I never made a bright star video about her. I thought I did. Nicki Minaj is a bright star, hands down. But Nicki Minaj's situation is very complex. And the reason why I say Nicki Minaj's situation is very complex is because Nicki Minaj has already established herself in the industry as one of the top female rappers to ever exist. What confuses me is why they're still trying to attack this woman, and she's been in the industry for 2 decades. There's still an obsession with taking her down. I don't understand. Like, I can understand if she was new, she's the new threat on the block, but this woman has been here since 2006. We're in 2025. What is the obsession? She's already marked her mark already. But I know what the obsession is. The obsession is Nikki is not giving her power away like the other people have. People always want you to think that you're crazy. They're always, oh, she's crazy, just a little crazy. You know, people are always trying to make it seem like you're not seeing what you're seeing, or you don't know what you know, or not everybody's always against you, until you have proof of the cahooting and the conspiring, and you have proof, you have the text messages, you have the emails of people saying, hey, we're going to do this and we're going to do that, to do this, to do that, to make sure he's not this. It's not until the proof comes to the surface that people finally look at you and say, wow, so you weren't crazy. You were right the entire time. This is what was going on behind the scenes the entire time. It's important for bright stars to not let anybody manipulate you out of your intuition. Bright stars have the gift of intuition at high levels. It's a safety measure. It's kind of like a bright star's intuition is a rose's thorns. Your intuition, you have a hyper level of intuition to protect you from attacks. Every bright star has an aggressive amount of intuition. That's why Michael Jackson kept telling his friend on the phone, I think they're trying to unalive me. I think they're trying to unalive me. I think they're trying to unalive me. How would he know that? Because his spirit felt it. Why did Aaliyah not want to go on that plane? Because her spirit felt it. So bright stars have extreme intuition as a double layer of protection from the world, from people. So with Nikki, people are always saying, oh, she's crazy. Or I was going on TikTok and they were like, oh, she's crazy. Now she's saying this. Now she's saying they're messing with her Instagram. She's crazy. She's not crazy. She knows exactly what's going on. You're actually the crazy one because you put in your mind that people don't conspire against other people. That's the crazy person. The crazy person is the person that thinks they're going to walk into incoming traffic and not get hit by a car. So you have to be a little nutty to believe that people would not conspire to go against one person. You're the nutty person if you think that doesn't exist. Bright stars will have to endure massive attacks. Now, you all who may be listening who are bright stars may ask, Mel, I don't understand. I feel like when I'm being pursued, it's at extreme lengths. And I don't understand why with me, people have to choose knives and missiles as opposed to somebody else who's doing the same thing as me. They don't bother them, but why do they bother me? Well, just like what Nicki Minaj said in that clip, it's people are already so intrigued by you. People are so curious by you. Some people are even inspired by you, but they don't know how to process that feeling. So they process it through seeing how they can dismantle you. That is how they choose to channel what they're feeling. They choose to do it in a negative way, which is why they paid Miss Deb. They offered Miss Deb $5 million to get away from Nikki. And she rejected it. Why? Because she's loyal. And she knows that they have this obsession with trying to destroy this woman, that she rejected the $5 million and said, I'm rocking with Nikki till the wheels fall off. And those are the kind of people that bright stars need in your corner. You don't want people that can be bought, that people can pay to turn against you, that people can manipulate. The people in your circle must be rock solid. Bright stars endure massive attacks, meaning everybody can be opening up a nail salon. You're opening up a nail salon. Sally, Ashley, and Lucy, all four of you guys are opening up nail salons. But they don't attack Sally. They don't attack Lucy. They don't attack Ashley. You're the person that everybody is fixated on attacking. And you're like, but why? I'm doing what everybody else is doing. Why am I the one? Because you're the bright star. You're the bright star. You're the one that shines out amongst the rest of the people doing the same thing as you. So you're the person that they want to attack. I would have this issue with jobs. Everybody can quit and it's fine. But when I quit, here my ex-boss is on my LinkedIn account trying to find the new place that I work at. Why are you stalking me? Why are you watching me? I'm allowed to move on. I'm allowed to move on to a better opportunity. But the problem is when you're a bright star, it's all about control. It's all about control. People have this innate desire to control you. And if they cannot do that, it's either they control you or they destroy you. There's no in between. So with Nicki Minaj, she wants to be fully involved in what she does. She doesn't want people coming in and saying, hey, you're the best rapper, come over here with us, and then you start using her as your puppet. She didn't want that, which is why she chose Young Money. And when allegedly, Roc Nation allegedly offered her something, she declined it. And there are some people who are so popular that they think that you rejecting them makes them feel some type of way, because how dare you? But when you're a bright star and you have the understanding of your power and your talent, you are not going to enter a deal where somebody is fully dominating what's in you, like they did to Michael Jackson when they started controlling him, like they did to Whitney when they started controlling her. Yeah, some people are like, no, I'm hip to the game. I'm not going to let you do that. And I always tell people, when you're hot-ish and you know you are, and you have full dominion and control over your gift, and you are not allowing any other human being to come in and pervert it, they will hate you for that reason. That's why they hate Nicki Minaj. Because their ability to control her, it's limited. They don't get to control her the way they control everybody else. They don't get to manipulate her the way they manipulate everybody else. That's why they're so obsessed with removing her. This woman has been in the game since 2007. And they still won't let her be free. They are still bothering her 20 years later. They are still trying to see how they can wipe this woman out. 2 decades. And you're still not over it? Okay. I see what's going on here. Yeah, that's what happens to bright stars. That's why you guys, your friends and family that you no longer speak to, and it's been over 35 years, they're still stalking you on the Facebook. They're still stalking you on the Instagram. It's been about 15 years since you stopped talking to that guy and he's still watching you from the Facebook. Why? Because when you're a bright star, people don't go away. The agenda and vendetta that they have to remove you doesn't come to an end. They're still going to try new methods. They're still going to try. You know what? For one of my businesses, I had to send out a bunch of virtual advertisement. Now I log into my advertisement account and it's blocked. Mind you, I don't speak to anybody in this industry, right? When you're a bright star, you can't really have close relations with people in your industry like that. You can't trust anybody. I know that. So that's why I'm a one-woman show. I work alone. I always say that. So I don't talk to anybody in my industry. I do what I have to do and that's it. I don't talk to anybody. If it's not an advisor or somebody to give me some type of professional advice, I don't speak to anybody. I get blocked out of my advertisement account. And I call them and I say, why am I blocked out of my advertisement account? Because I'm trying to send out advertisements. And I paid about, hundreds of dollars to do this software. They told me, we got a call from somebody that complained about your ads. And that's why we blocked your account. Mind you, this is an industry that I don't speak to anybody, but there's some stupid, jealous, insecure low-life Ninja Turtle that I probably haven't spoken to in a decade, that I'm still living rent-free in their mind. And they want to see how they can stop me, which they're going to always be unsuccessful because I can't be stopped. But the fact that they would make a call, like actually call the company to restrict my ads. This is probably a loser that I probably met in passing. That's why as I get older, I know my aura. There are some people I've met in passing that are keeping tabs on me. You don't even know me. You've never went out and had lunch with me. You've never had a brunch with me. You've never been in my car. You don't have any dealings with me, but you met me in passing. And from the moment you met me in passing, it's just a switch went off in your head. That is what happens to bright stars, is people that don't even know you like that are trying to see how they can become destructive, which is why when there was the Nicki Minaj hate train, Nicki Minaj was like, I don't understand how people I've never had an issue with got on that hate train and started talking about me. People I thought I was on good terms with. People I thought that I was on really good terms with decided to get on this hate train about me. Like, what? Because you're a bright star. So when the attacks come, when one person attacks you, everybody else uses that as an opportunity to attack you as well. So, for example, someone cannot be saying anything about me, and one person will go online and say one thing, and now all the hundreds of women or men, or a couple of women or men who secretly had an issue with me but would still keep up with me, are going to use that as an opportunity to also talk about me now that one person is doing it. Because that's how fickle and fake humans are, and jealous they are. Sometimes they may not outright attack the bright star, but if they see another person is coming up with a massive plan to attack the bright star, they're going to jump on the bandwagon as well. Okay? So when you're a bright star, the attacks will come, but you always have to remember that God's hand is on you. So they can attack as much as they want to. It's not going to get very far because of you have a double portion. The bright star has a double portion of protection. That's why when Nicki Minaj says they done went to witch doctors to bury the Barbie. So people were visiting witch doctors to bury this woman, to remove her from the land of the living by doing spells to see how they can maybe, put a heart attack on her or something like that. And that also failed. But when you're a bright star, you do have a double layer, a double portion of protection. Because you have a power that is so great, a calling that is so great, the protection is greater. Okay?